Hello, everybody. I am AJ Awesome, and I am here with Mike, Bennett, and Maria Kanellis.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
AJ Awesome is a fantastic name. I love it.
Thank you.
I didn't come up with it first.
Well, your name's not AJ, so.
It's true.
Why did you decide to become a wrestler?
I was always a huge fan. And then my dad took me to see Monday Night Raw at the Worcester Centrum Center in 1999. And I saw Mick Foley win the world title for the first time against The Rock. And from that point on, I was hooked. And I've actually gotten to tell him that story, which blows my mind that I got to tell him that story.
From what I've heard, that match was kind of a bloodbath.
The Rock and Mankind?
Yeah.
So I think what you're thinking about is they had like this 4 or 5 month feud. Mick Foley won the title first. That's the one I was at. But then they did an I Quit match, and that was a bloodbath. That was the time The Rock hit him in the head like 15 times with the chair. Yeah, that one was intense.
Well, I started watching wrestling when I was in high school, and I saw Jonathan Coachman interview The Rock, and I just really loved their interactions. And so I heard of the Diva Search, and I entered the Diva Search, and I wanted to be an interviewer, and so that's what I became.
What advice would you give to a new wrestler?
Have fun. Enjoy it. Remember why you started. Very often in this industry, it's crazy. You've had the opportunity to interview many crazy wrestlers. We get so in our own head, and we're trying to be successful. We're trying to be stars. We're trying to be champions, that we forget that we get to be pro wrestlers for a living, and that's really cool. So for most wrestlers, I would say get out of your own head and just remember why you started.
Try and learn as much as you can from everyone you're around, because those connections, that network, all of the different things that you learn, you never know when you're going to need those things. And so the more you learn, the better off you're going to be.
With you being in so many different types of wrestling, WWE, Ring of Honor, TNA, and the indie scene like we're at right now, how is wrestling different through the indie scene and TNA and Ring of Honor and all those places to what WWE is?
So WWE is more of a television product. It's very scripted. It's very cinematic. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Corporate. It's got to be done this way because they focus more on telling a less of a wrestling story and more of a television story. Whereas on the indies, it's very wrestling focused, and Impact is very wrestling focused with storylines mixed in. Ring of Honor, less storylines, more wrestling. Some people might take this as a bash, but it's really not. When you go to WWE, it's less about the wrestling as opposed to Impact or Ring of Honor or New Japan or those places.
And I bet you have some different reasons.
I have a couple of different reasons, but the main one would be creativity. When you're on the indies, you choose your own adventure. You do what you want. When you're in WWE, there's less of that because, like Mike said, it's more corporate. And then Impact and Ring of Honor, they're somewhere in between. You still need to be able to tell the story of the evening or get to the matches you need to get to. But you still have a lot more freedom than you would in a WWE.
Because WWE, from what I've heard at least, is more about the money.
Especially if you love wrestling, actual wrestling, it's not really a place you want to go. But if you love money and wrestling every now and then, it's a great place to go.
What is your favorite Disney movie?
Oh, I love this question. Currently, I love Encanto. It's my favorite. I love it. And all time, I don't know. I got to go with Moana. I love Moana. It's the best. Yeah.
Moana is one of the best.
Right?
Yeah, I love Moana. I think that would be my favorite. Even though I love Encanto, especially. We don't talk about Bruno, no. Yeah, so Moana.
You've had a lot of different roles in wrestling. Which one is your favorite?
Ooh. My favorite role I've ever had, I had last year. I ran the women's division for Ring of Honor. I did everything from the booking to writing to deciding who we were going to bring in. And to me, that was the most rewarding thing I've ever done because I got to affect the lives of so many different people.
What do you like to do when you have free time? Because with a kid, I bet it's really hard to have free time.
With 2 kids, it's even harder to have free time. But that's when, I guess with free time, it's not wrestling. So I genuinely love spending time with my family. That's the best.
We really like having breakfast together. So that's food. We, like tonight, we already decided what we're having for dinner. So we like to eat, which is probably not the best thing in entertainment, but hey, we work it off as best we can.
Do you prefer wrestling in a tag team or singles match, and why?
Ooh,
Careful,
hard-hitting
'cause
questions.
you
You already
Taven.
interviewed Taven, so I got to be nice here. I like them both. I really do. I like them both for different reasons. They're both different styles of matches. You get to play with your creativity in both matches. The cool thing about a tag team is sometimes after you're beat up and you're sore, you're not really feeling it. Your partner can pick you up and get you through the match and vice versa. But I like the challenges of both of them, and not for nothing, but I get to wrestle with my tag with my best friend, and I think that goes a long way when you're in a tag team. If you're in there, if you're teaming with someone you genuinely like, I think it helps. So I like them both.
So for me, the bigger the group I get to manage, the better. So as much as I love managing my husband, he doesn't pay a whole lot of attention to me when it's just him out there. So I prefer managing these big groups. Sorry, honey. I love you, but hey.
And you were talking about Taven. Who is your favorite tag team partner you've had?
Well, it's Adam Cole.
Bebe.
Baby. No, it's definitely Matt Hardy. No, I'm kidding. It's definitely Matt Taven. I love you, buddy.
Oh, so what? My favorite partner? My favorite tag team partner? Mickey James. Come on. My favorite person I've ever teamed with. She's hilarious out there. Yeah, Mickey James.
Who were your inspirations in pro wrestling and why?
So for me, because I watched him become world champ, it was Mick Foley. I loved how he was like the good guy, and everyone said he wouldn't be world champ, and then he became world champ. He was one of the first wrestling autobiographies I ever read. And then I got to meet him and become buddies with him, and he's the nicest dude ever. It's like they say, don't meet your heroes. Well, in that case, definitely meet your heroes because he's the coolest dude ever.
Yeah, I've met Mick Foley too, and he is really nice.
Right? He's the man, and he loves Santa Claus. I was in a Santa Claus movie, so we have that bond. He's just the best. He's the best.
Mm-hmm. So inspirations for me was definitely Lita and Trish Stratus. And Trish actually gave me some of the best advice I ever received, and that was no matter what you're given creatively, go out there and make the most of it because it's up to you. And as far as Lita goes, like she was so tough and also so beautiful, and I just loved how she could do everything.
Both of the wrestlers you just named are two of the greatest of all time in the women's division.
They are the greatest of all time. And I think still to this day, they are two of the greatest wrestlers, woman or man.
What is the proudest moment of your career?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I've had so many, but You know, I think one of the coolest moments for me, because everyone said I would never do it, was winning the IWGP tag belts in Japan. It was in a time where I was really struggling at Ring of Honor, trying to get my feet underneath me. And Ring of Honor and New Japan were really killing it. I didn't know where I fit in. And then me and Matt Taven and Maria went over to Japan and won those tag belts. And it was just a really cool moment that really solidified my career, I think.
Seeing my daughter at Evolution at the pay-per-view, being able to come back and wrestle and seeing her out there, that's one of the proudest moments.
If you could pick any job in the world besides wrestling, what would you choose?
I would love to be a motivational speaker.
So I really enjoy event management. So I would love to manage very, very large scale events.
Yeah, I bet it would also be really hard to plan an event with like tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, I want to do an EDM concert. I do.
The more people, the better.
Yeah.
She's nuts.
So I like the philosophy behind people moving. I think it's so interesting, and how you can get people to. Yeah, it's like cattle. Like, you have to move them all together. You have to wrangle, and maybe I should have been a rodeo
Clown.
What? No.
Maybe the clown.
Maybe I should have like owned a farm and oh god, that's enough. That's enough.
I feel like we should get away from that question for a second.
Run away from it.
Screaming,
What is something about you that would surprise people?
Surprise people. I love Britney Spears. Music, the person.
That doesn't really surprise anyone. What people don't know about Mike is how shy he is. He is incredibly shy.
Yeah. Just ask her about me.
Because, he goes out and, oh, there goes my phone. He goes out and he has this big character on television, but at the end of the day, he gets very shy. And when we first started dating, it surprised me that when we would have big family events, it was not his favorite thing because there was just too many people. And so he was very shy, but now he loves my family and he doesn't feel so shy around them all.
How about you?
Oh, surprise. I'm very insecure about a lot of things. But I think I play confidence very well, so nobody knows, but now everybody knows.
At least the people who watch the video know.
I'm sure everybody's watching it. Everyone.
Yeah.
Because you're on it.
Because we're on it. Actually, it's because you're on it.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. What is the best rivalry you've ever had?
The Briscoe brothers. Me and Taven versus the Briscoe brothers. We've wrestled everywhere. We've bled. We've wrestled 30 minutes, 6 minutes, NWA, Ring of Honor, everywhere. Definitely the Briscoe brothers.
Briscoe brothers, also.
Yeah.
I think I hit someone with a kendo stick for the Briscoe brothers. No, they are the ones that gave me the confidence to think I could continue to be in this very male-dominated industry.
That's the end. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, my man.
Thank you.
Up.
There we go.
That works.